After 2 hours of shaking, the car finally became quiet. I don't know how long had passed when Lisa was awakened by the cold. She found the car windows covered in thick snow. She tried to open the car door, but it wouldn't budge no matter how hard she tried. Her husband, David, had been sleeping like a log after exerting himself too much earlier. Lisa quickly bid him awake, but David still hadn't realized the seriousness of the situation. He told Lisa not to panic and suggested trying the front door or the back door. However, he was dumbfounded when he climbed to the back and found that none of the doors could be opened. The whole car had been covered and frozen by the heavy snowstorm from the previous day. The couple inside the car were clueless about the situation. David found the keys and tried to start the car, but unfortunately, the car wouldn't start. Lisa started to worry and became anxious with her big belly. She complained that David shouldn't have parked the car by the roadside and should have gone home even if they were in a hurry. David argued that she enjoyed the trip yesterday and driving in such a big snowstorm was dangerous. It is hard for a just official to judge family affairs, and each of them had their own reasons. Lisa stopped arguing and took out her phone to call for help, but as expected, there was no signal at this time. David snatched the phone and tried to find a signal while Lisa told him to save the battery. In the blink of an eye, it was already night. The couple started arguing again. Lisa believed they should break the car window and escape, but David thought that if they broke the window, they wouldn't be able to break through the ice and snow, and they would freeze to death. Since they were on a long journey and had enough food with them, they decided to wait patiently for rescue. Thank goodness for Lisa, but the husband couldn't do anything but follow along. David asked Lisa to sit in the back row, covered her with a blanket, and lit a candle for warmth. Temporary solutions for hunger and cold had been found. But what about thirst and the need to urinate? For a pregnant woman, going to the bathroom was frequent. David found a towel and rolled it up, saying that it would absorb the water better this way. Although Lisa was unwilling, she couldn't let herself die from holding it in. After solving the problem, they took out all their supplies and started rationing. By eating a little less each day, they would be able to hold out for another 12 days. It seems that they were prepared for a prolonged battle, and so, the two of them spent 3 days inside the car, unaware that the heavy snowstorm outside had already ceased. On the 4th day, David woke up and ate a small piece of biscuit, giving the rest to Lisa since she still had a baby inside her and couldn't go hungry. She considerately put the last bottle of water in her pocket to keep it warm. However, Lisa was busy recording her trapped life and forgot to tighten the cap after drinking the water. When David woke up from his sleep, he accidentally knocked the bottle over. The already scarce water was now all spilled out. David was upset and angrily blamed Lisa. The pressure of survival made them both more irritable, and it seemed like they were about to fight. In the end, David was the first to calm down. After all, every couple has arguments, and one knows how to compromise. To conserve energy, they spent most of their time sleeping, completely unaware that the blizzard outside had already stopped. Until 7 days later, they finally heard some noise from outside. David quickly woke up Lisa and started knocking on the car roof while shouting loudly. Lisa kept honking the horn, but the sound soon disappeared. It's the despair after hope that's the hardest to accept. Lisa was completely devastated and slept again under David's comfort. When she woke up again, he was absent-mindedly playing with his phone. David sat there drawing something on the window glass, and they ignored each other. Suddenly, Lisa's hand slipped, and her phone fell to the ground. She quickly picked it up and reassembled it. When she turned on the screen, she was surprised to find that there was a signal. Lisa hurriedly called her parents, but she was so overwhelmed with emotion that she could only cry and couldn't say anything useful. Hearing this, David wanted to take the phone and tell them about their location, but at that very moment, the phone's battery died and automatically shut down. David was on the verge of exploding with anger. The chance to escape was missed again. Lisa knew she was in the wrong and didn't argue. On the 11th day of being trapped, it was a sunny day outside, but the temperature inside the car was getting lower and lower, and there was almost no food left. Lisa believed they should have broken the car window and saved themselves instead of waiting to die in the car. Again, they argued about whether to leave the car and seek rescue. Lisa didn't waste any more words and took matters into her own hands while David was sleeping. David woke up from the commotion and immediately stopped Lisa. Who would have thought that the child would cry at such an inappropriate time? Fortunately, the arrival of the child gradually warmed the relationship between the couple, and the family of 3 regained hope for survival. But now they had no food left. David could only dig the accumulated snow outside the window and give it to Lisa to eat. Cows eat grass to produce milk, and Lisa couldn't produce milk without eating snow. The baby kept crying. In order to keep the baby warm, David took off his coat and gave it to the mother and child. He felt hotter and hotter, completely unaware that it was a symptom of hypothermia. The next morning, David couldn't be awakened anymore. Lisa was in great pain, but for the sake of the child, she had to stay alive. She climbed to the driver's seat, cleared away the ice and snow, and soon dug a hole.